Welcome back to Brownsville Matters. I have with me today in the studio, I'm Dr. W.F. Strong, your host today. I have with me Sadie Cermeno, who a lot of people know as just Coach Sadie. And I'm particularly honored to have her back because she was a student of mine back, 12 years ago that you graduated? 13
yes,
or so, yeah?
2010.
So it's been a while, but I loved you as a student, and I've loved particularly watching your ascendancy in your career and your entrepreneurship and your training in physical fitness since then, and the shows you've been to and everything. I've just admired your progress from afar. Thanks to social media, I've been able to follow. And but I don't think I've seen you in person I think I saw you 6 years ago at HEB or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but mostly. And I used to see you at the gym shortly after you graduated when you were just beginning your journey. But what got you started into the world of fitness? And what do you call it, by the way? I'm just calling it fitness to give it a generic title.
It's the fitness, yes. I'm the fitness industry. Let's say when I was 18, I was diagnosed with gastritis. And for me, it was, one day I woke up with such an ache. My parents rushed me to the hospital because I was just, vomiting. I don't know what it was. It was a bad experience. And then the doctor said I had gastritis. So then he told me what I couldn't eat and stuff. So that got me more like, I got to take care of my health, know? And then maybe the second time I went to the hospital, that's when it really hit me. I was like, okay, I don't want to be in the hospital again. So I need to take care of myself. And that was when I was 18. So from there, slowly I got, I signed up to the gym. Well, the one who signed me up was my best friend, Christina. Remember? I don't know if you recall.
I do.
She got me started in the gym, and I was in there. And from there on, it's history. Like
But early on, when you got gastritis, your primary change was in your diet?
Yes.
And how you ate?
Yes. And how I ate. And then, okay, well, I got to do something about this. Like, what else do I need to do? Like a little bit. I did cardio at home, did my daily walks. Then I was 21. That's when I got into the gym, and I felt like, okay, I hit the weights, and I was just curious, like any other, female or any person get curious, like, because I also, as a young girl, I was very, how do you say, insecure. I was very, like, everyone is insecure about their image, because society puts it out there that we need to be looking like this if you want to get that guy, it's like, and so, like, well, yeah.
So were you at the gym to achieve that image you were after?
When I hit the gym, I was like, okay, trying to achieve something like what, I want to look good, I want to get I was trying to get some attention.
Did you think you were overweight?
I didn't feel happy with myself at the time. I felt like I was, I didn't like the way I was looking,
So you weren't defined in the way you would like to be defined.
Yes.
Physically.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you also feel tired? Out of shape, out of condition?
Yes. When I started, yes, I felt like, like any young girl, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not.
That's sad.
I was always hard on myself. I would see myself in the mirror, and I would just look at those flaws. It's like, go away. I don't like that. And, it wasn't easy. It's not easy for women these days. And, I know you have a daughter. She's going to go through the same phases as well. She's
already. It's already there. It's already concerns for that.
And like I say, it's because of what we see in our social media, or what we see in society, or what society's telling us. Like that messes
and other women.
Yeah. And then, you have a Latino mom who's always like, poking at you. Like, I'm like, Mom, I'm trying.
So when you went to the gym, then the first time, did you have a trainer, or were you just going and doing what you thought was best for you to do?
Well, I just tried I was swinging it when I was in there. I thought, like.
Were you doing aerobics, or were you doing weights, or both?
A little bit of everything, like what works. Like I was mostly, like what I see in the magazines. Okay, do this, do that, and then it was still MySpace, Facebook, and I would see like, okay, like what do you do? Like I don't know what to do. I guessed, And then I eventually got a trainer, my first trainer. He also helped me kind of like give me an idea what to do. And that was very helpful, and then.
And what was that something to do that was different from what you were doing? What did the trainer help you do?
First the form. He learned me how to like the pounds. He'll have me do this, do the Arnold presses, do the military presses, do the squats,
And a trainer always pushes you harder than you push yourself.
Yes. A lot of people they get a trainer because they can't do it
They can't
themselves.
do it. Right.
They need the push. They need the accountability to do it. So
I'm going to talk about you as a trainer in a little while, but first I just want to talk about your journey to fitness and competition and shows. So, you kind of go on this progression where at some point you, as I would say, caught the fever to where you really became, maybe not obsessed, but you were incredibly focused.
So it got me when, as I started lifting weights with my trainer. And then, maybe I got another trainer after that. Like, okay, his schedule wasn't working with my schedule. So and then, my body started changing. Then there was a point where the manager saw me at the time. The manager at that time saw me and asked my trainer if I could be a trainer. So I was like, it's like, yeah, she has the image. Ask her if she's interested in because you're as a personal trainer, your body is your own billboard.
It's your credibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like people see that and they want that.
And this was at Gold's Gym?
This was at Gold's Gym at the time, yeah. And so I started working at Gold's Gym. They wanted.
Well, that must have been a big ego boost for you to be asked to be a trainer.
My confidence. I was like, oh wow, okay. I didn't know. My confidence went
Yeah.
And so from there,
did you tell your mother? Say, look, Mom,
my mom was like, you're crazy, Sadie. Like always, she always tells me because we have a family business, and so working at another business, they didn't. No, we want you here, not there. But I was like, no, Mom, I'm gonna do this for a while. I like it. And so.
Well, it's an interesting job for someone who's into fitness because the job itself makes you fit. You're doing it all the time, and you're being paid to stay fit.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Gold's Gym is it's like a corporate or something.
Yes.
It was tough being a trainer in a corporate, but I learned a lot from that,
What kind of rules do they have for you? I always thought the trainers at Gold's Gym were kind of independent.
Yeah, but then it was not really because we had to meet a quota, and it was tough, especially trying to sell packages and, people down here they can't afford it. And, but I didn't want to do it for the money, but I just wanted to do it just because I love to help people. For me, it's like, oh my gosh. And then, maybe, okay, well, it was so stressful too. It was fun, but stressful because at the same time, I was like, So then, I got out of Gold's Gym and then I just started doing my own thing.
But when did you start going to the shows? When you were in competition?
I was 25 years old.
25.
So, yeah, it's already been like a few years. And then when I was 25, like I said, being a bodybuilder, what got me started was actually a breakup, like I said, right? It was a breakup, and I just
So breakups make bodybuilders. Is that what you said? Breakups make bodybuilders?
Yes, breakups make bodybuilders. It's the thing everyone these days saying. It just gave me the fuel. I was, they could either break you or rebuild you, right? And I just kind of just kept going after the breakup. I just kept doing my thing, and I just went a little bit, harder, lifting more. And then I see that my body was changing more. And then if someone I do a show, I'm like, why not? Let's go for it, and then.
And where was your first show?
My first show was here in McAllen. And I got second place. So
wow.
I was like, for me, it was like, wow. Okay.
That is wow. First time?
First time, second place. I was like, okay.
Is there an age that's, for instance, in almost any sport, they have the best age for doing things, like, for instance, a sprinter kind of hits peak at 30. Is there something like that for bodybuilders where you have your window?
A window? It really...
Best years?
It really depends. I mean, there are bodybuilders who are young, like the teenagers. They can start as a teenager. And then, I mean, we have the masters that can go like 60, 70 years old. But for me, my peak was after 5 years of bodybuilding. Yeah, because after that year, I kind of like I had an itch to keep going. And then, and honestly, I didn't see the changes until 5 years later. Like the peak. I guess, like I started, you know, in order to know, you got to experience like what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I had a coach. I didn't have a coach for a while for the first few years, but then I got myself a coach who had a bodybuilding like athletes. So he would help me understand better what works for me, and so I would follow.
What ultimately were you going for? Were you going for shape? Your what do you call it? Body fat composition, or were you going for strength or bulk, or what was the end goal that?
Well, it really didn't, because there's different categories.
Right.
I had started in bikini, you know, very slim and very feminine, and then there's figure, then there's physique, and then there's bodybuilding, like bodybuilder. And I was bikini at first, but I guess after a few years, my body wasn't responding. So when I got a coach, he's like, "You're no bikini, you're a figure." I'm like, "I'm a figure." I didn't know. I didn't know that. It's like, no, you're a figure. And then when I did my first figure show, I got first place.
And where was that?
And that was in Corpus Christi.
Oh, Corpus.
Yeah, it was.
Well, what happened between getting second place in that first show and this one where you got first place? What happened between that?
Oh, I mean, I still did shows, but I mean, like, yeah, maybe one show, but I didn't have a coach between those years. Okay. So when I decided to get a coach, that's when I saw like, oh, wow, like, you know, I was doing it, maybe I was doing it wrong, but it's okay because I learned from that, you know.
Do you get, is there a cash reward, or do you win something?
Well, yeah, we get medals, but we get like status.
Okay.
You know, people get to like know us, but also if you reach, so when you go get national qualified, you have to go to a show that's national qualified. If you get first or second place, you're qualified to go to a national show. And I did go to a national show, and that was in New Jersey. And I got like 8th place. For me, I was like, you know what? I did good. Because these girls were just like, you know, you're not the only one who's chasing after something. These are the girls who have that.
And how many would be in those shows? So you were 8th out of
I was 8
200.
out of maybe like 15, 20 girls from my category.
For your category, okay.
Yeah, for my category.
And at these competitions, are people nice?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm in the backstage. I mean, all the girls, like, I'm nice. They're nice.
Okay. I just asked because the reputation in beauty pageants, particularly, there's a lot of cutthroat stuff going on there.
It's ruthless, but no. I mean, every time I encounter anybody, we got along. You know, I would offer them like food or something in the backstage, because we did have like some sort of snacks to have while we're waiting, and. Yeah, no, everyone got along backstage. Everyone was getting their own pump too, getting ready, like mentally, like, you know, so we all did our own thing.
But when you go to one of those shows, I was understood that you kind of have to starve yourself before for the 2 weeks prior to.
It's peak week. We call it peak week. It's like the hardest thing. Like the prep could be from 20 weeks to prepare for that 10 seconds on stage.
Oh my goodness.
Just for those 10 seconds up there. And that's the longest I've done is 20 weeks, I want to say.
And what are you not eating in those 20 weeks? Nothing
processed.
Nothing
processed. More whole food. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm trying to get in my sleep. I'm going in for my hour cardio or hour training. It really depends on the plan that the coach gives me, though, because everyone's different. Not everyone's going to be doing the same plan because everyone's body reacts different. So he tells me, hey, you got to do 45 minutes of cardio. I got to do 45 minutes of cardio. And there was a time before, it was for my national show, I did, I couldn't lose the weight. I couldn't lose the weight. I was stuck. So what I did, I had to go run. And In 2 weeks, I lost 20 pounds. And
20 pounds?
yes, 20 pounds. My coach was like, girl, I leaned out. I lost the weight, but I was like, I lost muscle mass. So there's science behind it.
But for you, 20 pounds would have been like, what, 30% of your body weight?
Yeah. And it wasn't, it's not this is why bodybuilding is a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's a health risk too.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, if you're not following the right plan, or if you don't have the right coach, it could be dangerous. There have been
You
people.
get arrhythmias.
Yeah. I mean, there's sadly, like, there's people who die, a young age for not being careful. So it's like everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but not everyone could do it.
I guess it's really a kind of short trip to anorexia if you're
not careful.
If you get carried away with this.
And then it could be a thing. It could be a health issue, you know. And at a time, I was just so restrictive. I was super restrictive at the point where I was just mentally exhausted, That was just me, but I was doing it because, that's what I thought I was supposed to do.
And what was your BMI?
Oh, I can't even recall. I think the lowest I've been in my body fat was 10%. Well, people who could go lower in the single digits, but me, I was 10%. That's the lowest I've been in.
It's a marathoner, right? Pretty much a marathoner is in that grouping before they run the marathon.
And as a female, that could be a little dangerous too for my hormones, or we, our period.
Yeah,
it stops.
It
stops with that low body fat. It stops, and then trying to get it back, it could take longer. I couldn't get my period for like 6 months.
I guess some women would see that as positive.
They wouldn't mind, but I'm like, no, there's something wrong.
Yes, that's right.
I can't be like, even though I don't want it, I know I need, it needs to happen. So, I got it fixed. Everything's balanced, and then.
Are you still doing shows now?
It's been 2 years, actually. I haven't done a show. People have been asking me, no, you know what? I got injured. And it was out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't, I was showing an exercise, and then my body I was prepping for a show, actually, but I was also training one of my clients, and I was just showing her a simple movement, and then my low back just kind of gave out. Oh. And I'm like, what's wrong with my body? That's when I took it as a sign. It's like, you need to slow down. You need to step back and take care of yourself.
So would this be a case where you say you threw your back out, or was it you pulled a muscle badly? I pulled
very bad. I don't know how. I wasn't lifting. I was doing more of like a core workout, and I guess my body no, you're done.
How long did it take you to recover?
I still kind of have a little pain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still at this day, but I've actually managed, to there's some days if after age, after 30, it's like your body just it depends how you sleep now. I sleep with pillows to help me support.
Tell me about it. I know.
But I learned from all that, and what I've learned throughout the years, I tell my clients, it's, you got to take care. You got to listen to your body. I didn't recover. I didn't learn anything about I would always be no rest days. I now take 2 rest days just to make sure my body doesn't not do that again. And I had to force myself to learn to take rest days because it's super important. Because if not, it's you could throw something out. And I'm always telling my girls, I'm just telling you from experience, you need a rest day. You need 2.
Now, you finished high in these shows, 2nd and 1st and 8th, and you did well. So this built your credibility, obviously, as a trainer. Your ethos is way up here. And so this makes it easy for you to get clients to train. It's natural.
It helped me. Yes, it helped me.
And then you left Gold's Gym and went on your own?
Yes, I did go on my own. Maybe it took me a while to be on my own.
So you have your own gym now?
Oh, yeah.
You have your own gym.
Because I was training at Alpha.
Right.
Alpha is a gym, too. Great guy, the owner. And then after that, I kind of I was there with him for 6 years. And then I'm you know what? it's not working for me here no more. You know, just I'm gonna go on my own, like go somewhere else. And I tried going to another studio, but I was still not. I don't know. Until I was pushed to do my own thing.
Sure, you were at the point where you needed your own gym.
Yeah, and I'm glad. You know, they pushed me. I'm very grateful for that. You know, they pushed me to do my own thing. Like they saw something I like. It took me a long time to see that I am capable of opening a gym.
Is your gym a membership gym or is it a training only gym?
It's in the works. Right now, it's a private one-on-one and group training. I train up to 4 girls. You know, for me, it's what I can manage to make sure they're doing their exercise, to make sure they're doing their form right, and it really depends on their fitness level.
And you meet them several times a week, I take it?
Yes, like 2 to 3 times a week they come to me. I mean, but I tell them, hey, if you want to sign up, just sign up. You see my availability on the calendar, go for it. I'll be here for you.
To get the benefit of your knowledge over all these years for everybody listening, what are the typical mistakes that people make when you know we're starting a new year, and people always, of course, make a resolution to get fit, and they betray that that resolution within about 2 weeks. What is it people do wrong when they want to decide and commit to the idea of a better body, a more fit life?
A lot of people want results super quick. And I be honest with them, is like, you won't see results until maybe a year or 2. But that's if you're consistent with your nutrition and with your training and with your sleep. And I have girls who come in and like the first thing I ask, how many times do you eat a day? And they tell me 2 meals. I'm like, that's not enough. You want a booty? You want a booty? You gotta eat. Yeah, it's like, no, but it's gonna get me fat. Like, no, it's not. Your body is starving. You're starving your body, so it's gonna fight you back by holding on to whatever fat you have. In order to move, you need to, give yourself the right fuel. So and that will.
Are you a person who recommends 5 meals a day, small or?
I would say 4 meals to 6 meals. It really depends on the person. I always say protein, carbs, and fats. Protein is the main source, so you got to be eating at least to start off with, because I tell them 100 grams or more to start off with. From there, we could go up more.
And what is that? Chicken, tuna? What are they eating?
Proteins, they're chicken, they're tuna, they're tilapia, they're lean ground turkey. They're I would say ground beef is fine. Red meat is not always a everyday kind of thing, but once in a while, because you have to consider the fat that's in there. Like, you don't want to overdo it, like every day red meat. I had a girl, I love her. She told me, I eat thighs, chicken thighs every day. I'm like, well, you got to cut that out. We got to cut that out and start. You know what? She changed to white meat, and boom, difference.
Different made a difference. Wow.
Different made a difference.
Oh, interesting.
And
I was once interviewing Scott Jurek, who's a super marathoner. He runs those 50-mile marathons, if they call them that at that point. But I was surprised he's a vegetarian. And he's run 100-mile marathons. But he said, no, red meat, meat in general. He said, I got to have some protein and stuff, so beans and stuff. But he said, my experience, red meat in particular, made me tired.
Yeah, it
held me back.
Yeah.
And now, okay, so you have them change the way they eat, and then what's the typical type of exercises? Again, is it? I'm sure it's individualized what they want to do, what they will do. But are they doing weights? Are they doing calisthenics? Or what are you doing?
They're doing weights. I have them do weights. I have body weight, mobility, especially mobility. Because, we got tight. Like, again, at a certain age, we just can't move no more. And the one thing people don't, it's underrated, but mobility. Mobility is good.
I agree with you.
You wake up in the morning, do some hip mobility.
I'm 68 now, and I'm always saying to my boys, I say, don't neglect your mobility and your flexibility, because it's easy to forget about it because you feel young and it's all there. But as you get older, that's the thing that you recognize quickly that you've lost. Most people my age, and I'm one of them, can't get up off the floor. without grabbing a chair or something, and it just happens one day. You know, you're able to do squats and stuff when you're 50, and then one day you're 53 and say, "Damn, I have to grab that chair to get up."
And let me ask you: do you think you need to go super heavy in order to see the results?
No, I don't think so. I think you just need to do it consistently to keep the flexibility.
Yeah.
And, is that not true?
No, it's true. Like it's muscle tension, like it's a muscle connection that people need to focus on more than lifting heavy, super heavy. I mean, all for it, yes. I used to lift heavy all the time. Nowadays, not really. I go more of a slow tempo, adding tension. That's all we need, you know. Unless you're a power lifter, then I mean, it depends. I mean, your sport.
Do you go for reps? Is it better to do 36 reps at low weight or 10 reps at high weight? I mean,
the maximum, like, if you go heavy, it could be from 8 to 12 reps. You know, I mean, if you're going super heavy, then it could be from 4 reps up to 4 reps. But a moderate weight, it could be 8 to 12 reps.
But you're saying the reps should be slow?
More, you know, slow tempo, you know, take your time, focusing on your form, your breathing. And I tell my girls, hold. When they're like, no. I'm like, yes, hold for 2 seconds and then come back up. You'll feel your muscles. You need to connect with your muscles. And I tell them, this exercise is what's focusing on your glutes. Like, we're focusing on your glutes on this exercise. Like, you don't just do the movement and just because. You got to connect with it. You know, it's like a hip thrust. You know, it works the booty, right? All the girls want to do the hip thrust. But I mean, like, there's other exercises to do to get, like, there's lunges, but don't go so fast. What's the rush? I mean, I can have you do, like, if you end the exercise, I'm going to have you do more. And it's because you have an hour with me.
I remember when I was in high school and in sports, and we would be in the training room, and a lot of guys would just do curls as fast as they could do them.
Super fast.
They were just super fast. And, you know, of course, I learned. I never did them that way, but I learned later that doing it about 10 times as slow as that was far better for building the muscle.
It's a connect. It's the connection.
Even Arnold Schwarzenegger once, I heard him say that that you pull up fast if you want to, but you go down slow.
Control.
And then he also said that when he would do bodybuilding, he would focus his mind on the muscle he was working. I heard you say when we first started talking, you said it's the mind more than anything else.
Mindset is everything when it comes to all of it, you know. What gets you going? Like, what keeps you going? Well, it's discipline.
In your gym, you have women only? You train only women?
Yes, I train only women. I'm hoping maybe in a few years, maybe in 5 years, my gym will grow to a point where it's, you know, publicly, like, go in there, all women, of course, just go and exercise, you know.
Well, why do you have that? Why do you say only women? Why do you have that particular criterion? You don't like to train men, or it creates complications?
Like I say, women have insecurities. They want to feel comfortable they want a safe environment.
I see. So they don't want men involved.
They don't want men involved. I mean, men, if you think about it, there's a lot of problems with
yes.
Menopause starts with men. It's like, well, you know, it's just a joke, but yeah, I mean, a lot of women, they feel comfortable just being surrounded with women, and they feel like a guy, like, you know, they're creepers out there.
Yeah,
they just watch and they don't feel comfortable. And so I just want to create an environment.
They've had women's gyms for a long time. What is the one that is probably best known as a women's gym? Curves, I think.
Oh, it used to be here a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I trained the owner, who used to own it.
Right.
Who used to run it. I train her now.
Oh, you train her now?
Yeah, I train her now. Well, she's a nurse now. She's a nurse now, and but she loves to work out, and she used to run curves.
Wasn't she in shows?
No, she didn't do shows.
She didn't do shows?
No,
okay.
no. But no, she came across me and she's like, she wanted me to train her. And yeah, once in a while. I haven't seen her for a while. And I do have to follow up on her. I'll be like, hey, where you been?
Where'd you go?
No, but no,
So if someone wanted to train or wanted you to train them, do you have time to train them, or are you full, so to speak?
I have no one-on-one sessions anymore. I'm pretty booked with that, which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
If they want, they could jump into a group training. If they like it, they could keep going.
How do they reach you?
They reach me through social media.
Okay.
Yeah, they message me, hey, what are the price? Or
They're like on Facebook, where?
yeah, Facebook, Instagram.
They just do Coach Sadie.
Yeah.
Coach Sadie.
They come across like, you know how social media works.
Sure.
Whatever you are interested in, it comes out. So I guess they saw my page.
Right.
They saw one of my posts and they clicked on it and they messaged me.
And then
Some of the girls found me on Google.
Sure.
They like women's gym and mine came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where is your gym? Or do you not want to say?
No, yeah. The gym is right here, actually across the expressway. It's next to it's North Expressway, off the expressway, next to the Boca Chica Animal Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So very conveniently located off the expressway.
Yeah. It's perfect. Like, you get off the expressway, it's right there. It's right there by Price, before you get to Price.
And is your dream to have a much larger gym?
I would love that.
That might be kind of like Gold's Gym for women.
Yeah, Gold's Gym for women, exactly.
Well, what happened to Curbs? It had it seemed to have a large clientele once upon a time.
I don't know.
They had a good market.
I never got to ask her what happened or so. But I know it was a franchise, but I guess it just didn't. I guess they started closing Curves itself.
Oh, I see. Well, franchises are difficult. They can be. They can be Chick-fil-A and you can do no wrong, and then there's some that they do well for a while and then the world changes. But I think that there's always a market, probably, for just what you said. Women's gyms are popular because women don't want men in that environment where it makes them feel uncomfortable, so they can't focus on them the way they'd like to.
Exactly.
And I think that there are men's gyms that are similar in a different way, the real powerlifting gyms where it's a real guy gym kind of, and the guys are trying to get away from the weekend warriors, so to speak. They just want people who are really serious about this stuff. I used to go, and I wasn't one of those guys, but I used to go to a gym here it's 30 years ago, and it had no air conditioning, and it was just like a big garage, but I went there because it was like $15 a month, but I didn't stay long because these guys that went there were serious. There no air conditioning. It was all free weights, and they were monsters. And so I said, "Well, I want air conditioning. I don't want to." I know there's some gyms with no AC. I'm like, oh no. I've got to have some air conditioning here.
Yes, and then. My girls are like, they know it's like, no, you girls are divas. I know you need your AC here. And like, you better not train me on site, Sadie. I'm like, no.
We're going to have to do that. Now, tell me about this one, the cryo services that.
Cryo reload.
Speaking of.
Cryo, it's cold therapy.
Cold therapy. Okay.
Yes, it's so we have a few services here. It's the whole body cryo. Pretty much, it's a full body experience where you go in a chamber. And our chamber.
You have this at your gym?
No, this is on Pablo Quisel.
Okay.
This is next to Mi Pueblito, next to Fit Kitchen. We got a good location because it's around by the gyms, like Gold's Gym, Crunch, and stuff like that. But and of course,
what does it do? What's it for?
So our business, it's more focused on recovery than anything, because again, for me, recovery is super important. You want to see results, you have to recover. You need your recovery time, and cryotherapy provides that. It provides, like, if you have pain or inflammation, muscle, like any joint problems, arthritis, you have depression, anxiety, it helps. It helps you feel more calm, more energetic, more like less tense.
This is a chamber that you
go
this
into?
Is a
chamber. Yes,
and it's real cold.
Oh, negative 220.
Oh, my God.
220 is a low.
So
Of course, that's more for people who are pro. Like
yeah.
there's different types treatments: the beginner, intermediate, advanced, and pro. And we start them off at negative
It's like
166.
going to the North Pole.
I've never been to the North
Yeah,
Pole,
well,
but
it's
I don't-
negative 50 degrees there, so it's not
Oh,
quite.
really?
But a lot of people these days, they do ice baths.
Yes.
Does this have the effect of that? Like
it's better. It's better, like 10 times better.
Why?
Again, negative 220. The baths are like what?
32.
32.
Yeah,
It
that's
does
about it.
have like, oh man, you could get a cold shower, but for me, I don't do well with water. I just don't. I could go in a chamber and I could go in there for 3 minutes at a negative 220 better than taking a cold shower, personally.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like 10 times better.
Is this the opposite of a sauna? I mean, sauna people have used for years.
Yeah, and sauna's still good. Like
still
sauna,
good.
yeah, we have a steam room.
So you can go from there into there.
Yeah.
You can go from
You can use both.
tropics to the North Pole.
Yes, you have all the benefits. Again, when it comes to cryotherapy, it helps a lot with, flushing toxins. It improves sleep, reduces anxiety, collagen production, and the weight loss too.
Do people do this like twice a week, or how do you do it?
It really depends on your goals. If someone who wants to do a weight loss, we recommend 3 to 5 times a week.
And I would go there, like if I worked out real hard at Gold's Gym, I would go there
Oh yeah,
immediately
we recommend
afterwards.
after a workout to go. And
Like within 30 minutes, or
yeah, right
just immediately
afterwards, or
you go there?
after a workout, we could go on with your day and be like, oh, let me go get my session at the cryo.
How much does it cost?
So if it's your first time, it's $35.
Okay.
And then regular, it's $50. But we have package deals
Sure.
too. And then again, it's not just the chamber. We also, if someone who's afraid, because it could be claustrophobic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I already had a girl who she lasted maybe like 20 seconds. She's like, no, it's too cold. It's too cold. No, it's not that it's too cold. She felt like it was so close, like
closed in.
claustrophobic. Even though we have a window, we do have a
Right.
window to bring down, so you
Right.
won't feel claustrophobic, but they don't like the idea of being in a small space. So we have localized cryo.
It's a very common fear, actually.
Yeah, it is. It
claustrophobia.
surprised me how much people
That's
are
why they
afraid.
had to create CAT scan machines that were open, because people got freaked out by
Mm-hmm.
going through a CAT scan machine and closed in.
So that's why we have localized cryo. It's a target area. One of mine is I love the Cryo Boost. It's a mood enhancer. It helps a lot with people with depression, anxiety, and we just go over your head. It's about 5 to 8 minute session, just going over your head, on your neck, and you just feel this like weight coming off your shoulders. Like you just feel so good. And I promise you'll sleep like a baby later on. It does. For me, I love it. Maybe the other day I was feeling such stress, and I asked my business partner, Edna, to do a cryo boost on me just to take off the tension. And I was like, that's what I needed. Like, that's all.
I would imagine it would be good for migraine headaches.
Yeah, it
I would
does.
think.
Yeah, it helps. Like, yeah. Also, like, it includes, again, like if you have a sprained ankle, we focus on your sprained ankle, or low back injuries as well, low back problems too. This localized cryo also helps with body sculpting too. Like if you have an issue, it tightens up the skin again, like I said, and fat freezing. People love that. Like, oh my God, it does. But again, you must have a good nutrition. You must have a good lifestyle in order to see your results. I mean, this type of service, it can help you maintain. If you can continue on with your lifestyle the way you are, and it can help you maintain. But if you want to see more results, you got to change your routine when it comes to eating, when it comes to working out, to see results.
Is this something that you find yourself saying over and over again to people? If you want to see results, you must do these things.
Oh yeah, I'm like one of those. How do you call it? Always repeating everything.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. No, nowadays they have to hear it. They need to hear it over and over again until like it gets to their head. Like, I need to change.
Do you always ask people who are coaches or advisors of various types? It could be finance, it could be fitness, but do you have 2 or 3 things that are like mantras with you that you say over and over? The no pain, no gain, anything like
No
that?
pasa nada. Just do it. Like, you're going to be fine. They're crying over there, and I'm like, no pasa nada, you're fine. And it'll get better. It'll get better, I promise. It's something I always say is like, you just got to suck it up. I know it's not pretty. I mean, the working out part, of course, you got to push through the burn. In order for your muscles, like, you gotta push, like, keep it going. Like, yeah, those basic, all the motivational quotes, like, I'm out there, and then I'm there for the girls too. It's like some of them have a hard day and they just need to just let it out, like, just get a good workout, and I'm there for them, It's like, yeah, I know everyone has a tough day.
So you're a physical therapist and a mental therapist.
They could say that. And
Yeah.
just they need an ear, they need a shoulder. And I'm okay with that, us women, we have so many tabs open that sometimes we try to get so much accomplished. It's like, don't give yourself such a hard time. And you know what? One thing I love to teach my girls is to love themselves. I didn't love myself for a very long time, but when I turned things around and started actually talking nice to myself, that's when I started seeing more changes. And I stopped being so restrictive when it comes to my diet. Like, such a diet is such a bad word, but when it comes to my meals, it's I get to eat what I like, but in modification. And I'm not craving like all the Greasiness, but I'm more, with the years of bodybuilding and training, I learned to eat correctly, and eat enough. I'm not eating 2 meals. I'm about like 6 meals a day, all portioned, of course, but I try to meet my intake of the day. And I tell the girls, you guys have to be eating because it's going to help you, and be nice to yourself. Stop saying you're weak. You're not.
You've learned
weak.
to reward yourself,
Yeah.
to give yourself rewards.
And I have to.
It's not all suffering.
No. Why? What's the point? Why are you trying to be perfect? To whom? You got to be happy in your own body.
It's good advice. Very good advice.
And it's always reminding them that every day.
Well, I hope that we can, through this broadcast and this podcast, we can get you a few other people that you can work your magic on. So, thanks for coming by. Good to see you again.
Yes, likewise.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.